Hello, Vinci. Welcome back. This is Van Gogh Around the World, Part 1. And this is our geography lesson today for the 25th of February, 2021. So, Van Gogh, he travelled the world. Talk to your partner. Do you know what countries Van Gogh worked in? Or talk to your Teddy. Do you know what countries Van Gogh worked in? Well, Van Gogh worked in France. He worked in England. He worked, obviously, in the Netherlands, where he was born, and he worked in Belgium. Now, there was two very special places to Van Gogh that were the Netherlands, or Holland, where he was born, and it is suggested that a place where he was the happiest in his life was at his house on 87 Hackford Road. Why do you think that was? 87 Hackford Road. Well, it was in London when he was in England. Now, this is a drawing of what his house used to look like. And outside the actual place here is where he lived there for a year. In 1873 to 1874, he lived there and he's got a blue sign outside that house now. Now, his sister-in-law says he spent a lot of his time planting sweet peas and poppies in his garden. And he even wrote a letter to his brother Theo saying, I have a wonderful home and it's a great pleasure for me to observe London and the English way of life. And here's some poppies and some other flowers. And he says, talk to you, Teddy. What does he mean when he says the English way of life? What does that mean? What do you mean the English way of life? Well, if you've had that discussion and you think you might know, let's go on to the next page and see if you were right. The English way of life. Well, when Van Gogh said the English way of life, he was fascinated by how the two countries that were both in Europe, the Netherlands and England, were so different. So our task is to become some geography detectives, and we're going to figure out some differences between the Netherlands and England. So I'm going to bring up some facts now, and we're going to go through about making our own fact file. So this is a bit of a research sheet, and I've given you an idea of what it could look like. I'm going to show this again at the end after we've been through all of our information. We're going to be making two country comparison sheets. So the first one you can see is going to be on England. So the next time we make this is going to be on the Netherlands. This week, we're going to be looking into England and what features it has. So I'm going to start off with some of the facts. England. England is a country which makes up one of the 4 countries for the United Kingdom. It is located within the continent Europe. Now, I'm just going to very quickly go back because I'm just going to explain something that might help you as you're going along. I've got some different sections here which I've given you an idea of how you could make it. So it's currency, I've got the flag, I've got the capital city, and I've got the top sports in England. So those are the 4 main bits of information that I need. I've also got additional information. Anything that I say on the facts that's not the main part of information, like the main currency, we'll find out. But if it's something else on that page that's extra information, then that's what's going to go in your additional information box, okay? So like I've said here, I've said where England is as a continent. Where is it in a continent? It's in Europe. The extra information might be that it's located as part of the 4 countries that make up the United Kingdom. London is the capital city of England. It has many landmarks such as London Eye, Big Ben, and the Houses of Parliament. The currency or money that we use in England is pounds. And you can see there's a pound coin that we've been learning about. The largest note, which means the biggest note you can get in England, is a £50 note. England's flag is made up of a white background. So you can see the white background just behind there. And it's got 2 red stripes that cross over. The population of England is 55.98 million people. England's top sports. the three top sports for England are football, and England has one of the most competitive football leagues in the world, the Premiership. The English football team play at Wembley Stadium, which can hold over 90,000 fans. The second top sport is cricket. The English cricket team won for the Cricket World Cup in 2019 against New Zealand. And the final top sport in England is rugby. And there's a bit of a story about this. Now, rugby was created in England, but there's a story that tells that it was actually a game of football and somebody on one of the teams picked up the ball and decided to run with it. And that's how the game rugby was created, or so the story says. Now it's your turn. I've given you those quick facts about how, and you're going to be making that fact file. Now, using those facts that I've given you in the video, you're going to make a super looking fact file like this. Now, I've told you what the flag looks like, what the currency is or the money that we use, what the capital city was, and what the top sports are. Now, the extra information, as an extension, you can add in any other facts that were mentioned in this video as part of the additional information. So, for example, you might put in something like the highest pound note in pounds, or the highest note in pounds is, and I'd write that in the additional information section. The highest note in pounds is, and because I told you that in the video, I'd write that down. That's everything for today. I look forward to seeing this work on Tapestry. You must complete this because we need this in order to do the next comparison for the other country that we'll be doing. Thank you very much, Da Vinci. See you in the next video. Goodbye.